Hello, Gremolinos. It's Catherine, your favorite asthmatic, mostly 10-fingered chaos reader. If you hear a lot of outside noise, it is literally because they are doing something. I don't even know. There's a truck parked in the middle of the intersection outside of my house, blocking traffic, doing something very loud, and they've been doing it for hours, with no estimated end time. Didn't even know this was happening today. So yeah, it's just been very loud. Also, if you notice I'm a little hoarse, I kind of lost my voice and then it's slowly coming back. So I do have fluids. Right now it's coffee in my Death Before Decaf mug. I'm gonna take a sip of that. And while we're all contending with a very loud sound outside my house that I don't know when it's ending, I literally have been putting off filming an intro clip because I was like, it is so loud, they have to leave at some point. And they have yet to leave, and it is driving me up a wall. So I'm just filming this. So I'm sorry for the noise. It's just gonna be there because I can't make it go away at all. I don't know what they're doing. I truly don't. But we are here because it is near the end of May, and I have a number of books that I need to read to get returned to either Libby or my physical library before June, because in June I typically make a sort of loosey-goosey TBR where I just read a bunch of queer books. I read a ton from Kindle Unlimited, I go to the library and grab stuff. So June is my kind of gay whatever I want to read month, and I don't like carrying books over from May. I like to have them done so that the books that are technically that don't fit my theme for June aren't happening, because I want to just focus on queer books for Pride. So some of these books could wind up having queer characters or have gay themes, and I don't know, but these are books that I grabbed for other videos or because I wanted to read them before a certain for a book club or something, and I need to get them done. So to start with, this is a hold I actually did not think was coming in anytime soon based on the wait list, but I have Molka by Monica Kim, and I grabbed this because I am curious. I did like The Eyes Are the Best Part. I am currently on chapter 9, and yes, I feel like the sound is getting louder. So this, I know a few people have already read this, and this is actually not sent in the US. The Eyes Are the Best Part was. This is sent in, I believe, South Korea. I swear they said South Korea. So we are focusing on 2-ish characters. And I say that because there are other characters being brought in, and the book actually started with a character who I don't think is going to be in this plot at all, which threw me off a little, because we were introduced to someone who is American born very specifically, but then that was used as a way to bring us to John, I think it's John Yoon? He's in the previous chapter. Yeah, I'm gonna say John Yoon, but that could be wrong. So he's a voyeur. He is basically our bad guy character mentioned on the blurb. He has cameras in women's bathrooms. He watches women. He's also just a jerk. He was raised in part by a father, we learn, who does not really think women matter. He thinks women should be shown a firm hand, and has passed that ideology to his son. And so his son does not really have relationships, but he also believes that women owe him things, and it's horrible. He treats his mother horribly. He's not a good guy. And we know that he is a voyeur very early on, but being stuck in his head is not pleasant. He's very fixated on female genitalia, what women are wearing, just fixates. And he has become fixated on I feel so dumb. I wish I had the audiobook, but I don't. I almost just want to call her D, which seems crappy. I should try and look up how to say her name. I feel like it's I don't know. But she is a woman who works at the same company as him. He is she is in her 20s, it sounds like. She's in a relationship currently, but the man she's in a relationship with feels very out of her league. He is very wealthy, and he is a man who wants what he wants, and she feels like she has to cave to him even when it's things she doesn't particularly want or enjoy. He buys her very expensive shoes and she doesn't want them. She's like, these are too expensive, I cannot take these from you. And he's like, no, I want you to wear nice things, you wear the shoes. And she hates them. They don't fit well, but she's wearing these Louboutins that are killing her feet. And so he is set up at this pinnacle of a relationship. He's wealthy, he's incredible, he's doting on you, but he doesn't seem like a good guy. He seems like someone who kind of gets control out of, like, he controls the relationship and it's not like a partnership. He is just going to like dote on you, use you. Like, I don't know that this would even be like, it's supposed to be long term, I guess, but like I just don't feel that. It feels very transactional to me. Like, if she stopped being useful to him or he felt she wasn't useful, he would just get rid of her. So like that's what I'm seeing from the relationship so far, but I don't know if I'm supposed to be seeing that. Like, that's how I'm viewing it. He seems very selfish. And so like none of the men we've been introduced to are like good men. And then there's like a side plot that's been brought up about Dice's sister, who has died she's died. I'm not gonna get too into detail with that, but I feel like they're trying to like tease a ghost element, but I'm not sure that's actually happening. Also, it's gotten much louder, so I'm gonna hurry up. So there's like a ghost element possibly, but I don't know that it's actually a ghost. It may just be guilt. So like, I don't know. So far, I think it's fine. I'm not like wowed to be reading it at this point. And I think a lot of that is because we're getting a lot of character setup, but like, I don't know that I detest all of the men I have met and I want them to be punished for being detestable, but I don't know how, because it says on the front cover she wants revenge. So like, this feels like it's supposed to be a good for her, and we have to get to the point where it's like good for her, but also like, these men are all trash and I don't want to spend time with them. I don't want to hear anything about them. Like, I don't like them. And the benefit of The Eyes Are the Best Part is we were in our female protagonist point of view the entire time, and I do typically prefer that in good for her books because I don't care. I don't care to know more about the man. I don't care to know anything about him, really. You can give me tangential stuff like his employment or like some thoughts he's having if you really want, but I don't particularly care about him. Like, I don't like him. I don't need to know about him. I would prefer he was just like a vessel for crap. Like, he is just the vessel for the story, and I would kind of prefer that. But that's just me. Also, I'm in a terrible mood because of the sound and some other stuff that's going on. So I'm gonna go. I am going to fill you in when I finish Mocha. I don't think me filling you in additionally is going to help. I think I should just finish it and be done. I did pick my Furby shirt because I love this shirt, and it's very hot today because it's tech, and Furby was always listening to you if you didn't know. So I just thought that was fun. But the book so far, I don't know. I am currently just kind of like, I want more time with our female main character, but I also want less time with the male main character that they've established, and I just kind of want him to go away. Like, I would rather get like her point of view of him than his point of view of her and the women around him. Like, I don't need that. I don't care. I don't like him. So yeah, he's dragging me down a bit. Maybe it won't bother me as much, but I don't like him and I don't want to be around him and I don't want to know about him. Yeah, so that's just me, but we'll see. Maybe when it's done, I will have completely different thoughts and I will think his point of view chapters are important. But as of right now, I don't. But I need to go because my throat is getting extra raspy and I need more like coffee or water or something. So I will talk to you when I finish Mocha, my dear Gremolinos, and hopefully I will have less grumpy thoughts / will be less grumpy. Maybe today, maybe one of those days where I'm just an uber grump, just the grumpiest of grumps, and we'll have to deal with that. Also, I'm getting my hair cleaned up this weekend, so I'm just kind of doing whatever to keep it out of my face. So I will talk to you later, Gremolinos. Hello, Gremolinos. They're still outside my house. So I'm gonna get into a book update, I promise. I am so, like, I have the worst headache. It's not gonna go away. Also, I'm losing my voice really badly. So that truck that I mentioned is outside my house making a ton of noise. It has been there all day. And so I thought maybe there would be some kind of post online because they're kind of supposed to give you a heads up if they're doing like big work by your house. So I like go online, I'm looking all over. Krista found something, but she was like, no, this is like, it was like hydrant flushing, which does happen. We have a hydrant by our house, but I was like, no, this is something else. So the side of this truck says water main. So I'm like, okay, I'll call the Department of Water. Department of Water has no idea why there's a truck outside my house. I then they transfer me to Public Works. Public Works doesn't answer. So I call a different Public Works number from the website. I get someone at Public Works who is like, no, I mean, that would be the sewer department, which is underwater. Like, it's a subset of water. So I don't know why water wouldn't know. But again, I don't know. Maybe it was like front desk person. I, again, don't know. So I like ask him if he knows. And the guy at Public Works is like, I have no idea. like we're working with them, like they'd been sent out, but like I don't have a schedule, like I don't know why they're there today. And I was like, great. So I was like, if you could like look into that and let me know, like I just want to know when they're leaving because they've been here for hours. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, no problem. I'm gonna take a sip. I'm having coffee out of my, or soda at this point, out of my Death Before Decaf mug. One sec. So, call Public Works. Don't hear anything back. And like, it's getting louder and louder and louder. It's been very, very loud for hours. And so there's a number on the side of the truck. So I was like, I'll just call the truck. Like, not them, but like their hotline. Maybe they can tell me something. So I call, I get a very nice man who's like, oh yeah, no, because I like give him my city. I'm like trying to explain. He was like, no, we're working with your city. And he was like, but we were supposed to be done last week and they extended the budget. Do not let me get into budgets with my city. They're trash. And he was like, it would be like state or federal funding probably, but like they extended our budget and we're here longer, but I don't have a schedule. Like we're just working with the sewer department. And I was like, great. Sewer department / water / public works has no idea like what's going on. And he was like, what? And I was like, everyone I've talked to has no idea, like beyond the fact that you're a third party, that they like one company, water doesn't know who you are. Public works has no idea why you're by my house. Nothing online shows that you should be here. Everything online listed a number of city streets farther away from me that are closed today for sewer work. And I was like, but like my street is not listed and you're in the middle of an intersection. And the guy was like, are they like everyone asking me like, are they blocking traffic? And I was like, no, but they're in the middle of an intersection. It has a light, like the light is still working, like the 4-way light is working. And I'm like, but there's a truck in the middle and there's just kind of like cones sort of around them. Sorry, my nose is like so runny all of a sudden. I'm not gonna blow my nose. I'm just gonna like awkwardly dab my nose. So there's not a ton of like noise. Still did that anyway. So I'm trying to ask and he's like, I don't know how long they'd be there. We normally only work with like police or barricades, which I thought was weird because I was like, well, online for these other things it's saying like you should have flaggers with you for the sewer work, and I would assume the flaggers are provided by the city. And he was like, well, if they think it's gonna be a long time, yeah. And I was like, okay, they've been here for like a long time, because at the time I called them it had been 3 hours, and I was like, and like, is that considered short? And he was like, no, we normally have people if it's more than an hour, but maybe we work something out with the city. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, I completely understand, but like he doesn't know the schedule. He's a third-party contractor and he's a guy on a helpline for a third-party contractor. So I call Public Works back and I'm like, hey, so I actually called the number on the truck and I was like, which they didn't tell me anything like super interesting, just that like their project was extended, but they don't have a schedule, so they can't tell me either. And I was like, so do you have any idea why they're like here? Like, if they're, because it's sewer. And I'm like, am I supposed to like not be flushing my toilet? Like, am I supposed to be turning something off? Is there something I'm supposed to be aware of? And the guy at Public Works is like, no, like continue, like your daily life is normal. I'm really sorry. Like he literally emailed the superintendent of the city and has not heard back as of now, because I asked him to call me. And I was like, so no one knows why this third-party truck is here today. There's no assistance from the city with them in kind of like the intersection by my house is not like a safe intersection. People run it a lot. You can't see all the way around sometimes just because like where people park and stuff like that. So like it's not a safe intersection to have this giant truck in. Maybe they have actually taken a break. Maybe they went to lunch. It seems quieter. I don't know. It's so late. I'm so tired. So like that's all been going on. Horrible headache. And on top of all of this, so this wasn't that bad. I thought they'd be done initially a long time ago. Like I was like, okay, whatever, maybe it's an hour or two. Like flushing our hydrant takes like an hour. So I thought maybe they were just like checking something. No. But Krista suddenly shows up at the house and I'm like, why, what are you, okay, one sec. So I'm like a little confused because she's not supposed to be home, but she was going to the jail to meet with someone. She's an attorney, it was a whole thing. And she's like, no, I got sent home because something happened at the jail. She's fine, but also like people suck and we're not paying attention to my wife in a jail. So like today has sucked, just like unbridled sucked. Like my head hurts. Krista had to deal with a traumatic event just going to her job. Then she got a headache because she's been here with me and she still had to go to court. Like there's no one who could cover her court tonight, so she had to go. So like she left to go to court. So she's there. I'm hoping she gets to leave early. I'm gonna make dinner at some point. Oh my gosh, I swear to God. Now my nose has decided to just like freely be gross and it's driving me crazy. So yeah, it's just been a time. Sorry. Oh gosh. No, they're gonna make noise again. I hear them. No. Maybe they're leaving. Please be leaving. I can't keep listening to them. It's so loud. It's like thudding. Like it sounds like drilling. And it's eating my brain. I could barely do anything today. Like I've been doing work stuff, but like I basically was like, something happened to Krista at work. Also, they're doing insane work outside my house. Like I can barely think. And so I've been working and like covering my responsibilities, but also like I can do very little else. Like just bro. So like before my workday got started, I was reading some of Molka, just because I wanted to get it done, and I finished it during lunch. So I already kind of gave you a breakdown of this. The plot didn't exactly go the way I expected. So I had mentioned we were following Danye, and she had like a boyfriend, but I thought her plot was solely going to be connected to Jin Young. Yes, I think that's his name. So sorry, all of this plus not like sleeping great last night, I can't remember anyone's names. So I'm just gonna say J and D because I truly, that's all my brain can remember right now for names. And that's like of all the people in the book. Like I can't remember anyone's name because I'm terrible at names to begin with, and just like my brain is soup. So she's with this guy. It's actually the boyfriend that results in like all this stuff coming out with a Molka cam. It's like it's a completely separate plot, but it's connected to the other guy, Jay, because he's a creep. But not technically, like we're still following him. So really we're just following Danye D, who is being just like so assaulted by these men. Like in some cases without her not, like in many cases without her knowledge. She doesn't know this is going on. She still doesn't know some of it's going on. And like, it's just so upsetting. And like, I really thought we were gonna get like the good for her, like in a more, the guys are the best part way. But this book feels more like it wants to bring to attention, like the misogynies of men, like how bad men are. But like, I just felt kind of cheated out of what I wanted in terms of a comeuppance for everyone. Like there is a very good comeuppance scene with some characters, and I was like, yes, but it's very near the end of the book, and like we're following as D is like devolving. Like she has someone who's trying to be a friend to her, but she's not accepting that help. She's become fixated on her sister, who is now appearing as a sort of ghost throughout the story, kind of, but like that ghost element felt a little bit like Bat Eater, a little, just a tiny bit, but like parts of that, like that added in didn't really help me. Like I really was like hoping for more of seeing her like destroy these men, and it didn't quite feel like that. And like a part of it is probably because I'm reading this under the least ideal reading experience. I'm in a terrible mood. The day has been terrible. My head hurts. My throat hurts from all the phone calls I've had to make while also working, while also dealing with a lot of noise that I think might be done. But like, non-ideal reading experience. But like the book, I heard a bang. Anyway, the book just really wasn't what I expected. And like, I appreciate the discussion of what was going on. The topic of these men doing horrible things and the sort of boys will be boys element to the story is horrifying. The fact that this does actually occur, that there are women who are dealing with this, that like this happens, like all of that is something that you need to be aware of, and it is a very important topic, and it's truly vile. Like these men are vile. But I also am just like, I had to spend so much time with one vile man, and I feel like I needed more to happen to him. And like there is another vile man, and that man is worse. I'm gonna say they're equally, truly just the dregs of human society. But like that other guy gets something you can latch onto and be like, yes. But like the other guys, it just takes so long. And like, I don't want to spend time with him. I don't want to know him. I know these men. Like I understand who these men are. And now I've got two of them. So it feels like the female characters in this are kind of getting like shoved to the side, which is weird to me because in The Eyes Are the Best Part, she's such a focus and she's such a force. Like in this, I just felt like I was bogged down by all these men that I didn't want to be interacting with and like understanding them. I already know these men. Like, I know terrible men. Like, I have met terrible men. Like, I get it. They're the worst. But like, I wanted more for her. I wanted more, like, something. I wanted something truly great to happen for her. I just didn't get that. Which maybe that I was expecting something that wasn't going to happen. And again, suboptimal reading. Like, basically I read this on the worst day. Not the worst day, but like the worst day for reading. Like, focus, concentration, all of that. So like, I'm not focused. I could have missed nuance. I could have missed so many things. But like, this just didn't do it for me. And like, it's done. I finished it. This clip is so long. But that's Molka. I know a ton of people are really enjoying it, and I just like, I wish I had enjoyed it more. Like, I really do, but I think I only would have if we'd gotten more time with our female main character, maybe, or even more of her like sister, or even more of her friend. Like, I just like, I don't know. I just felt very, I'm gonna return this actually because there are people waiting for it. I don't know. I just felt bogged down in all of the male characters. And like, I get we need to understand them, but do we though? Like, I can hate a male character without knowing more about him. I can. I truly can. So yeah, I don't know. It wasn't what I hoped for. And that is on me. So the next book we're reading is another book by an author who I read last year? Earlier this year? Last year. I think it was last year. I have The Caretaker by Marcus Kluwer. He wrote We Used to Live Here. And I am curious. I have heard varied things. So we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping I like it more than Molka. But again, we shall see. It's been a crap day, so who knows. Also, yeah, have to do dinner, do some stuff. Don't know when I'm gonna start reading that, but I do have to go. I also need to rest my voice because again, I made so many phone calls to so many different government agencies to get no answer, and they're doing it again. It's never gonna stop. I'm gonna hear it in my sleep. I'm going to go insane. I'm gonna go because the madness is slowly leaching into the rest of my body. I know you can hear it. There's no way you can't hear that sound, and if you can't hear it, hooray for you. You're not being driven slowly mad. But I gotta go. I will talk to you probably not till tomorrow, Gremlinos. If I talk to you tonight, it will probably be useless because I will have turned into a pile of grumpy goo. So yeah, another time for The Caretaker and all those things. Hello, Gremlinos. I look very blue because for whatever reason the background on my computer is blue today. It is a thing. I don't know. So just enjoy the blue and the fan sound. Thankfully today there have been no very loud trucks. My throat is still recovering, so I'm very raspy. Also, it does not help that I was singing a little this morning. That's my own fault. I should not have been. I was just very into the song that was playing. But I'm here because I'm a little ways through The Caretaker, and I do want to check in because we are at a perfect, like, the world's most perfect check-in chapter for this YouTube channel. I have finished chapter 7, Gremlins, in which our main character is watching Gremlins. Yes, the chapter ends with our main character watching Gremlins. So that is solely the reason I'm checking in right now. That is literally the only reason. I literally was like, I'm like in the middle of a section of the book and I don't care. This is where we're going to check in because you need to know that Gremlins is in this and someone watches it. And I am pleased as punch. So, The Caretaker by Marcus Kluwer. So, I want to see, yeah. Okay, so Macy Mullins is in charge of taking care of her sister who's almost 18. The two of them are kind of not doing well. Macy doesn't really have a steady job right now, and she winds up basically jumping at the chance to take this job being a caretaker in this like very odd house in like a really, really nice area. Like, it's foresty, it's lovely, like rich people live in these very rich houses surrounded by property in Oregon. And so she winds up being convinced to take this job. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of how she gets to be convinced, but actually, but money is what convinces her. And honestly, if someone offered me $9 grand and was like, I just need you to do some weird stuff around my house, and it has a home theater and you can watch Gremlins there, I would do it. Also, there's a cat. So I'd be like, sure, I'm fine with this. This is great. This is lovely. I would, though, have questioned some things that occur when I arrived. And I don't super want to get into that, but I feel like you might get a sense of what I might mean. So Macy has taken this job, and we are introduced to the idea of rituals. There are these rituals that have to be done around this house to stop some sort of force. We don't know what it is, but the husband had been doing these rituals and had determined that like it was doing something. Like it was stopping a something. It was controlling a something. And that could be anything. Like the wife is very vague about this. And the wife has been taking on these like rituals. I ran out of stuff to drink. But she says, oh, I need to go away for the weekend and I just need someone to assist me. And I didn't want to call it a house sitter because I thought that would give the wrong connotation, get the wrong kind of people. So I called it a caretaker. And so Macy has agreed to do this. Her younger sister, Gemma, is back in their apartment being like, you are a dumb idiot. Like, do not do this. This is unsafe. This is a horror movie. Like, my dear sister, I love you. No. But the issue is that when she and her sister are like made aware of the ins and outs of the rituals, because her sister does find out about them in some capacity. I'm not going to explain how. Just know the sister like thinks everything's a red flag. Macy's basically like, I can't not go because also like she gave me an advance and like we already spent it because we do not have money, my dear little sister. So she winds up at this house. Now the rules are all very like, there's something about rabbits and the lights being off at certain times, and it's just like a lot of interesting little goofy things. The lights thing, I actually can't, like, it's during the witching hour, the lights cannot be on, and I'm like, okay, I can actually see that. If you're going to fixate on something, that seems like a solid fixation. The other ones get a little loosey-goosey. Also there's a rotary phone. I really need water. So there is like a rotary phone, or like an old, I think it's rotary phone. It says a box, it has to be a rotary phone, right? That's how I'm picturing it in my head. As a child, I had a phone my parents didn't use anymore that probably weighed 20 pounds, that had the little rotary, you spun. I don't know how old anyone is here. So there used to be phones that had a dial on the front that you put your finger in and you spun it to the number and you held the phone, and it had a cord. And I had that as a play toy, but it was actually a real phone that could be used in an emergency. But again, it had like a dial that you pulled like over. I feel like I'm trying to explain this. I don't know if this phone itself has the dial. In my head, I imagine it as this 20 pound off-white phone that I played with religiously while I was pretending to be a secretary. As a tiny child. I watched a lot of old movies. I was very into secretaries. I was so sure I was gonna be like a PI's secretary, his gal Friday. Anyway, this is a tangent. But that's the phone I'm imagining. So far I am enjoying the story. It is interesting because all of Macy's chapters are in first person, which I wasn't expecting, because I don't believe that was the case in We Used to Live Here. But these are first person, and we did get some intro bits from the husband to kind of set us up. To like make things a little eerie, and I am enjoying it. I am hoping beyond hope that I actually very much enjoy this book, because the Star Wars book I read was the last one in my vlog was a bust, just a big bust, which is not its fault. It's a marketing issue, but it was a bust. And Molka just didn't do it for me, because I was not in the mood to read that book, which is also it's my own fault in some capacity. But I am enjoying this so far. I am enjoying following Macy. I will point out that Macy does experience a lot of intrusive thoughts, so the I presentation is helpful because the intrusive thoughts are directed at Macy. But just keep that in mind if you do like have issues with perhaps intrusive thoughts. It's just very negative self-talk. They feel like, I feel like we're going, there's discussions of this in sort of a trigger warning at the beginning, but just keep that in mind if you're reading and you're not perhaps comfortable reading all of that, because some of it does get very like Macy and like very fixated on her. And so it does help that she's in first person, because we can differentiate. It's also typed differently. But that is pretty consistent. So Macy does have like an internal voice that you're hearing. But yes, I am enjoying it. I'm curious to see how the first ritual plays out because it has not occurred yet. But we got to the Gremlins. I was like, I gotta stop. She's watching freaking Gremlins. She's watching Gremlins. He's way over there. You can't see him. Oh, also, I put him over there. She has a Pikachu backpack. So behold my little Pikachu over there from the 90s. Yes, he's old. And also his tail was damaged and had to be super glued back together. That will make sense if you've read the book. But I am enjoying it. I don't really want to tell you too much because I feel like I'll just spoil things. So just like know that I understand. Because $9 grand for basically 2 days of work is incredible. And I'm very sure it's tax-free because it's not like anyone's gonna be checking that. She didn't get a W-2, so that's fun. And also, I get it. It's a really nice house overall. It has a theater and a jacuzzi, and like it seems very nice. But yeah, some stuff happened though where I'm like, oh, poor Macy. Oh, my dear sweet summer child. Oh no. Because I'm very sure her sister is in some capacity very correct. But I must go. I just wanted to fill you in. I need to get to doing after work things and actually reboot my computer. I just haven't done it yet because I needed the lights from the screen. Not really, but my window's not open today. There was no sound today, so that was lovely. But I'm gonna go Gremlinos. Now I really want to watch Gremlins. I could do that. I have free will and DVDs. But I'm gonna go. So I will fill you in more on the caretaker later. Probably not today. I don't know. Haven't decided. My throat is really raspy, so maybe not until tomorrow. But we shall see. And I'll update you in a different room. I promise. There will be different rooms. Hello, Gremlinos. I promised you a different room in my house. I'm propped up on some squishmallows. But I'm here. It is the morning. I did not vlog anymore yesterday, which was fine. We literally just watched Supernatural and we ate the Ronto wraps that I was supposed to make in the Star Wars video. I literally wound up making them like the day after I finished that video because I wanted to get all the stuff done. Maybe 2 days after, but they were delicious. Anyway, I'm here because I did in fact finish The Caretaker yesterday and I really enjoyed this. Now again, I don't star rate, so I don't even know what I would have given this, but I don't do that. But this was very just like, I'm trying to think of what to compare it to because I really enjoyed following Macy. Macy is the kind of character where she is going to make decisions that I think will make some people angry because Macy's inner monologue is really doing some stuff to her. It really is. And you know, I got it. Like I was like, okay, I get what's going on. I get what's happening here. And like, I could understand where a lot of her thought process was coming from near the end of the book. So like, I totally got it. And I am a sucker for how this ended. I will not spoil anything or say anything. What's bothering me is it reminded me of something like when as I finished the book, I was like, this is reminding me of something. But for the life of me, I can't remember. It's not actually the Twilight Zone, though I could see this as a Twilight Zone episode, slightly altered, like time period-ish, like we moved it into Rod Serling's Twilight Zone. I could see this plot used in an episode of that. I could also see it, I could have seen this as a movie. Like I could picture this as like a movie as it was going through. But Macy really is just, she needs this money no matter how bizarre everything is getting around her. She's like, I have to like get this, I have to make it through, like my sister and me, and it's just the two of us. But we're also examining some of how why the two of them are apart, some very, very big issues that Macy has had because of events regarding her family. This is also a book that very heavily, and it does discuss this, examines grief, which I did not know. And I'm bringing that up because Macy is focusing on it, and I just feel like people should know going in. I just was like, oh, okay. It does tee you up to know that that may be something that you'll be examining throughout the book. And that may also be another reason why I liked it. This year, before certain events, I had realized that I do think grief in the horror writing process is a very useful tool, and I think it can be very interesting to see a character contending with grief, also having to deal with horrors that are not that. And so I think that also like still worked for me because I do think it is an interesting topic to examine through horror. I also did like Macy's character. I could understand Macy's character. I could get Macy's character. I understood what was happening with Macy. Like I was like, okay, I got you. I understand you. I got it. So like I felt like I just like got her. Like I understood what was going on. I understood why she was like, okay, we're doing this. And then as things slowly go farther and farther off the rails, why she's like, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So like I could understand all of that. So I really enjoyed it, and I liked the ending. There is something, and I'm sure if I thought of it, I would say it and then it would like spoil stuff. So it's probably good. I can't remember, but it is reminding me of something, which is driving me absolutely up a wall. Eventually, I'm sure I'll remember it, but I do recommend The Caretaker. It's been too long since I read We Used to Live Here, but while I enjoyed We Used to Live Here, I may actually have liked this one more. And I say that because We Used to Live Here reminded me some of House of Leaves, and I don't feel motivated to like reread that book, but I do think I could reread The Caretaker. Like I think I could reread this. And if I'm examining a book, there's some books you want to reread, some books you don't. I feel like wanting to reread this one over the other one is a sign that I like this one more, that I would be more drawn to reading it again. So yeah, so definitely enjoyed The Caretaker. I feel like a lot of people are going to have differing opinions of that book, but I very much enjoyed it. We are now moving on to, my bookmark's already in it, so I'm gonna like awkwardly hold it. I got A Touch of Jen by Beth Morgan. So when I was reading Yesteryear, I wanted another like social media influencer book to follow that up because I didn't want to end my vlog with it. And I like went online and was Googling a bunch of stuff, and A Touch of Jen came up as like that most highly recommended, like, oh, you want an influencer book? Read this one. But no library near me had it, so my request took a little ways to come in. And so I wound up reading a different influencer book that my library had in stock. But since I have it, I really want to read it. So all I know is there's someone named Jen. She's an influencer, and there's a couple that's obsessed with her. So that is going to be very interesting, I think. I'm very, very excited to start this. It's like 300-ish pages. Krista does have court tonight, so I'll probably be reading this after work, some during lunch. We'll see. I think I'm going to be pretty busy today, but I do want to try and get through as much of this as possible. And then the book I have after this is also an influencer book, I think. So it's just how things shook out. But I am very excited to get into this. So I will talk to you sometime later, probably in my office. I'll probably talk to you during my lunch break or at the end of the day before I head downstairs, just so my camera isn't really going to many places. I just don't feel like bringing my camera downstairs, but we'll see. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I will talk to you later today, Gremolinos. Hello, Gremolinos. It is my lunch break. I am going to give you a vague update on A Touch of Jen. This is broken up into parts. There are no chapters. There's like no chapter numbers, like things are a chapter. But each section is, it's just like there are 5 sections, I think. Yeah, so I'm on section 3. We are following primarily Remy and Alicia, though Remy is getting the most page time, I would say. I'm gonna put this down because it's super reflective. So Remy and Alicia are a couple. They both kind of have basic service jobs, and they are a weird couple. They are obsessed with a woman named Jen. And now this sets Jen up as an influencer, but it almost doesn't seem that way. Like, it just seems like Jen is someone who posts on social media, but is like making money kind of. She just doesn't, she seems influencer-ish, but not exactly. And really what's odd is I went into this thinking neither one of them had met her, but Remy knows her. Like, Remy met Jen and Remy is obsessed with her. So I'm just kind of like, Alicia is with a guy who's obsessed with a girl, and he has basically brought that obsession into their relationship, and the only way they can be intimate with each other or connect at all is via Jen. which is weird. And the two of them should break up. So at a certain point they run into Jen, and then it's like Jen and Jen's friends and like a person that Remy randomly knows that Jen also knows. It's very weird. Everyone's insufferable. Just know everyone is insufferable. They're all kind of odd and annoying and just bizarre. And like something weird is happening, I get, but like Jen like is chaotic. And very definitely is like trying to mess with Remy, it almost feels like, but not. It's just odd, is all I'm going to say. Everyone is insufferable. I don't particularly like anyone. Remy is definitely obsessed with Jen, but then keeps insisting he hates Jen at this point. Jen is now like weirdly fixated on Remy because she wants to mess with her boyfriend. And then Alicia just seems to be like along for the ride and kind of just like changing her acceptance of the situation as she needs to. It's so odd. That's all I can tell you. Currently there is no plot. It's just people being insufferable, which I know sometimes is fine. And like, I'm trying to figure out where it's going. That's all I can tell you. Really it is. They went on a surfing trip and that's where we are. Like I think we're leaving the surfing trip, or we've just left the surfing trip. So I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like everything is going to be toxic and weird. I have roughly 170 pages left and I'm just like, okay, I don't really know where this is going. This isn't exactly what I was looking for in a book. So I'm just kind of like, I don't mind insufferable characters. I love an insufferable, annoying person in a book. But also I'm just kind of like, what? Like, I'm just kind of like baffled a bit because I'm just like, where is this going? What is going to happen? Like, what's going on here? So yeah, so far everyone's insufferable. I don't think Remy and Alicia should be together. I think Remy is a creep who has been fixated on Jen and then just kind of made his girlfriend also be fixated with her because, you know, the two of them couldn't do anything unless they were talking about Jen. So that's weird. But I will fill you in when I finish it. I'm gonna try and finish it today. Again, Krista has court, so my plan is to try and read a bunch tonight because it's odd. And I don't see any other way to explain it to you. I'm just kind of like, everyone's insufferable. And I know I've said that word like 80 times, but like, that's the only word I can think of. They're all just weird. Weird is about, they're just like, no one has a real personality. They're all just kind of like people pretending to care about things and existing in the same place. So yeah, I will fill you in when I'm done. We'll see if I've had any thoughts that are different. I just don't, I have no thoughts. I have no thoughts. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Also, I'm wearing my Stay Trashy raccoon shirt, which is very comfy. I have a cardigan because it's actually cool outside, but my office is warmer. So I've been like grabbing it, taking it on, like putting it on, taking it off. But yes, so I'll fill you in when I finish Touch of Jen later today. Because I just like, I don't know. I have no, I can't give you any thoughts or feelings. I don't have any beyond like, everyone is annoying. So we'll see where that goes. Yeah, I don't even know how to close this clip. Hello, Gremolinos. It is the evening, like late-ish, pretty late-ish in the evening. I'm in pajamas. You can't see them, but I have my sleeves on, all of that stuff. I had 2 gin and tonics.
I'm naked.
She really isn't. She's right there.
My soul is naked.
There you go. But yeah, I finished A Touch of Jen. I have truly no opinion on this book. I finished it. The book has been consumed by my eyes.
The title is horrible.
Yeah, Krista's sister's name is Jen. Just, that had nothing to do with my opinion of the book, but also true. Yeah. At a certain point, the book starts discussing, well, like throughout, the book is discussing like this other book, and we still are focused on Jen, but also more, at a certain point, Alicia, the girlfriend, who at some point they say wife, and I was like, what? Did not think you were married, but okay. I don't know. It was a book with people I did not like. The only kind of okay person was Jake, and he was like not in the book enough. Also, there's like a parrot at a certain point. I don't even know. The issue here is that the plot of the book is still really about this couple's fixation on Jen. But is there any plot that I can describe to you? Beyond that, no. I can't tell you anything else because it's all a lot of like interlude scenes. Like it's just like interactions with people and like oddness, and at a certain point there's like a thing, and I can't explain it to you because it's not in the synopsis and it would technically be a spoiler, but like a thing starts happening and like I just was confused and then was like, I don't understand why this is here. What does this say this is supposed to be? Part millennial social comedy, part psychedelic horror. It's not really horror. There's like a horror thing that happens.
The title is horror. There
you go. There's like a horror thing that happens, but is it enough to make me care that I read the book? No. And I mean, I am a millennial, but I'm not a millennial living in an urban environment. So maybe if I lived in, because they mentioned going upstate, like they're somewhere in New York. And I'm like, are you in New York City? Is this why I don't care? Like you're all just annoying people in New York City? I don't know. I can't even say, I didn't enjoy the book, but perhaps people like this book. I feel like the reflection on it is wild. Yeah, it keeps turning the book completely white. It's so strange. I think it's a blanket. Anyway, I did not enjoy this. Also, I really don't think Jen is a social media influencer. Like, I specifically said influencer, and she's just a person with an account. Like, she may be running a business, and maybe technically, but like, the setup of her is just woman with an account. So like, yeah, it is a story of obsession that I think could be 100 pages, and I would have liked it just fine. I did not enjoy the experience, and yet it went in my eyeballs, into my brain, and one, my brain is broken. Also, Krista is still very sick. I have nothing else to say. I didn't enjoy it. If you want to read a book about annoying people, and a couple that's obsessed with someone so much so that they basically can't have a relationship unless they're fixated on that person, go ahead and read it.
Somebody adopted 4 cats all at once.
Oh, that's a lot of cats. That's very nice of them. So yeah, that's the book. This does knock off. It's focusing on the gingerbread man and not me. It does knock off my 3rd library book. So, I do have 2 library books that I need to get to that are not for Pride. I have 1 library book that is due on like June 2nd. So like on June 1st, I have to rapidly read that book. But I have 2 books left. One is a novella audiobook that I will be listening to during work tomorrow. That is adamantly going to happen. It's I'm a Fan.
Maybe that's what you need.
Oh, I think that's AI. I think it's AI. Everything's AI. We're not going to get into me talking about AI. I will stop. I'll just go into a tangent. We don't need that today. That's already happened like 5 times. It's fine. I'm a Fan. I forget the author's name, but it's called I'm a Fan. And I have the audiobook, but I don't have it in this room. It's in my office. I'll show you tomorrow. That's what we have to listen to during work. It's a 5-hour audiobook, and I'll probably be listening at 2 times speed, so that's not a lot of time at all. So that'll be super easy. And then the other book I have is because I read that Life of Hannibal Lecter book, the like autobiography that was really good, and I'd never actually read Red Dragon, so I got it so that I can actually read the Hannibal books because I am curious. Oh, now I'm gonna cough a lot. But yeah, so I have that, which I will try and get through. It's not wildly long. So yeah, so that's the plan. Audiobook, and then I'll read Red Dragon when I have time over the weekend because I have to finish everything by like Sunday. But yeah, I need to go though because mostly my throat hurts and I don't want to talk anymore. and I will see you in the morning when I make coffee. I will have you come make coffee with me, and then we'll start the audiobook. But yes, so I see you in the morning. Baden's being a goof. But yeah, talk to you tomorrow when perhaps my brain is more sensical. And also, that book did not help, I don't think. That did not help my mental state today. Anyway, I will talk to you tomorrow morning. And coffee.
By Sheena Patel. Narrated by Sheena Patel.
Do I? I stalk a woman on the internet who's sleeping with the same man as I am.
Hello, Grimalinos. Yes, I am doing a themed thing. I'm wearing a Bob shirt. I have a Bob's coffee mug. Behold, the Louise's. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So I'm here because I'm taking a teeny break really fast to talk to you about I'm a Fan, because I finished it. It did not take a ton of my morning. So let me just pop this up. Yes, I am done with it. I mean, I'll just go to the manage loan screen. You're not really gonna be able to see the cover of this book, but let me behold. It's right there. It's so tiny. You see it? You see it? There you go. So I did finish I'm a Fan. It is interesting because we don't really get, like, I don't think we ever got the name of our protagonist, but she is just very fixated on this woman that she's like in a number of relationships outside of her own relationship. Like, she's cheating on her boyfriend, but she's like cheating with other cheaters, and she becomes obsessed with the people that the cheater she's with is also cheating on her with, or has previously slept with. So it's a lot of her examining these like women and men that she's like in relationships with, but like some she's like, I'm a fan of them, and it's like she's obsessed with this guy, she's with him, she wants to be with him, but like he's never gonna want to be with her. And then she's also like fixated on this influencer who is someone he hooked up with, and that leads her down like these like very, very intense rabbit holes where she's just so fixated on these women. Primarily this one woman where she's just like constantly checking her feed, she's watching everything she does. Like, it's so pervasive in her life. I found it very interesting. It is curious though, because in the story, like in the telling itself, because this is first person, you're just being like told everything. Sheena Patel is also the narrator, and she notes that like the character is also a writer. And in there, at a certain point, the character notes that she takes her own life and like chews it up and turns it into product. So I'm like, is this like based on your life, or like a variation of your life? Like, I don't know. It was very interesting to listen to. It is a story of obsession, very much. I think if you like the show, you would like this. This is also more what I was looking for in Touch of Jen. Which, like, this handled it so well in so much less. Like, this is such a shorter book. Again, it's audio to physical book, but like this is a 5-hour audiobook when at single speed, and I know Touch of Jen would be longer. So like, I just enjoy this. This was a great way to start my day. Solid creepy. I'm gonna return this actually. Solid little like audiobook about obsession with an influencer who happens to have been with a person you were with. I have a bunch to do for work today. I've already been really busy, but I at no point will be able to read this until after work. But I did tell you Red Dragon would be next. This is the only library book that I physically have checked out that will not work for June. So I would like to finish it by Sunday. I'm hoping to get this video up Sunday. So like, I'm hoping I can make this work, because I would like to post it on the last day of May instead of on the first day of June. But if I have to, I'll just post it on the first day of June. But yeah, so I'm excited to read Red Dragon. I know it's gonna throw me off because I prefer the telling of the story in Hannibal, the show, because I've seen the movie, and like comparatively, well, one of the movies, I can like say comparatively, I like that story more. And some of the characters are different in Hannibal, the show, as opposed to in the other content that exists. So like the book, I know some characters are male who are female in Hannibal. So I'm just like curious how I will feel about it. But I am very intrigued to read it because I've never read any of the Hannibal books. So yeah, that's really it. What's frustrating is the last two books, I can't really like give you much without spoiling it, because Touch of Jen, there's no plot to recap for you that doesn't just spoil everything. And it's also so many just like vignettes of people that like I truly have no idea how I would explain that book. Beyond that, I did not particularly enjoy it, but that's just me. I also, like for this one, I enjoyed this one, but it's basically a woman detailing her obsession to you. So you can't really explain it without spoiling like what she thinks, what she feels. She does a number of very interesting things, makes a lot of choices. So yeah, I would definitely recommend. I'm a fan. The audiobook was also very good. So I would say if you can get that through your library, just like do that, because it was nice, it was easy, did a great job narrating. So yeah, but we're gonna move on to Red Dragon. I am going to plug in my iPad, so it is charging. I'm just like staring at things because I have 3 books out on here for Pride that I like absolutely have to get to before like right at the start of the month because they will be due. So yeah, I have a lot to do. I am gonna go though and do more stuff. I was taking a tiny break because I could not look at the same thing that I was doing for another minute without a break. But I do indeed have stuff to do. So I'm gonna go. I will talk to you probably not till the end of the day. I just like, it's gonna be a day. I'm in the zone though. I've already determined priority of tasks, and that priority of tasks makes absolute sense to me and works and will not stress me out. I refuse to be stressed out about anything today. I mean, I will be, because by nature I'm stressed out about a lot of things, but I am refusing to let today bother me that much. That's what I'm doing. That's how I'm maintaining my existence. Because it is what it is. I gotta get stuff done. I know what matters in the priority of things, and technically I don't have to get everything done today because everything is on an extended timeline. So ba-boom. But I gotta go. I'm just babbling at you. I'm gonna drink more coffee. I've had so much coffee. I may have been a maniac in a meeting this morning. But I really wanted coffee because it's like cool out. It's nice. I can wear this little cardigan-y thing. I'd have the sleeves down, but I'm in work mode. So I pushed my sleeves up. But I'll talk to you later. I know my voice is still being weird about Red Dragon. So I don't know when that will be, but it'll be at some point. Hello, Gremlinos. It is late on Saturday night. It is May 30th. And I have finished the final doesn't fit my Pride TBR plans library hold. I have done it. I have read The Red Dragon by Thomas Harris. And I didn't talk to you about it at all because I was really just focused on finishing it. So, I'm in my Goosebumps shirt. I'm very cozy. So, to recap, the book does move through a few points of view. Primarily Will Graham, who is an FBI profiler who hasn't really been profiling after the events of the Minnesota Shrike case. He is brought in because someone who is initially named the Tooth Fairy, then renamed the Red Dragon, has committed 2 killings. And they are very elaborate, very strange, and Jack Crawford has asked him to come in. Basically, Jack has said, like, you have to do this, like, I'm not giving you a choice, and Jack is kind of a jerk. So Will winds up doing this. This does put his family in danger. He is with a woman named Molly and her son, Willie. They are now in danger because he's involved in this case. And connected to all of this is Hannibal Lecter, who, oh, my battery's dying, look at that, we'll be quick. Hannibal Lecter, who previously had interacted with Will and has stabbed Will in the past, and Will is technically who caught him. That's a whole other thing. We don't really get the details of that. Also, I got my haircut today, so you can kind of tell. But we are following the case. We move between Will Graham and Dollarhide primarily, though we do get a couple other points of view off and on. If you have watched the Red Dragon movie with Edward Norton, this is a very, like, that movie draws very definitively from this book very closely, so you will know the story. If you've watched Hannibal, the television series, this is also covered. It's a little bit different, but you would still very much know the story. It is just the attempts to locate and stop Dollarhide. It is very well written. It's very interesting. Some stuff is a little outdated. Just keep that in mind. Also, I need someone to explain to me why Will Graham's phone number has letters. Someone, if you know, please tell me, because it has letters and I don't understand. And I could Google it, but also I'm going to forget to Google it. So if you're watching this, please tell me. But it was very interesting to read. I'm curious to read Silence of the Lambs, but I won't be reading that for a while. But yeah, it was an interesting read. It was weird though, because I kept picturing Will Graham from Hannibal, also Edward Norton, and then both versions of Hannibal. I was like picturing a hodgepodge of the show in the movie, which was very strange for me. Like some of the scenes I could even see, and I was like, well, that's not what's happening right here, but also that's what you're seeing, because they change who the Red Dragon takes in a certain scene in the show to a different character, and so that's an interesting switch up. But I could see those scenes very clearly in my head, even though it's a different person. But I could also see the movie scenes. It was very strange, but I did enjoy it. I'm very glad that I read it, and I will be continuing my reading of the Hannibal books, I think, over the course of this year. But that is everything. I finished the holds. I did it. My battery is dying. I'm gonna edit this video and work to get it up on May 31st. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all of that stuff, and I will see you in the next one, Carmelinos. Bye.